What's going on, guys? What's up? What's up? It's 8 p.m., so it's definitely a late Q&A Sunday today. A little bit of a late video, but I definitely wanted to do a video today. Did not want to have this day finish and not have a video, a Q&A video out. A bit of a study session as well. I need to do some reviewing before tomorrow so that I can game plan accordingly, game plan properly, and be ready for Monday morning, guys. It's May 22nd, and so far it's been a consistent month in terms of green days, but it hasn't been my best month, not even close. It's been a lot of days where it's been very close. We look at close calls, what could have been, those type of things. But ultimately, I wasn't able to get it done, man. And so, I want to do some reviewing um, and see what I can do for tomorrow. Still waiting for the collab with Ross in the Discord. That is funny. So as you guys are tuning in, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. I didn't do any sort of promotion for this live stream, so we'll see how many people we get. I mean, I have no idea, but we'll see. As I mentioned, study session as well. So, I'm going to be going through some of the trades from last week, just taking a look at some of the stocks that I traded, and I want to look at the chartings, right? Seeing what type of setups and opportunities that we had, and moving forward into next week, what to expect and what I might want to do differently to have a better outcome. Because last week started off pretty good. Last week we started off. Okay, I got to go into my account setting and change. Last week started off with a good green day. Monday morning we're up $900, and from there we had some trouble. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, slow days. I gotta go into my account settings really quickly and change my account over so I can go back. Yeah, the pivot lines. Yeah, we'll talk about the pivot lines, and I'll do a video this week as well. I didn't forget the taxes video. That'll be out tomorrow. But we'll have a video for pivots as well. A full-on video so you guys can see everything. I'm gonna go to white screen for a quick second to change the settings in my in the, what am I saying? Change the settings so I can get to see the rest of the days. I was playing around in there and I forgot to switch it back. So hold on, give me 1 second here. All right, there we go. I would hope it's fixed. Are we good? Let's see. Activities, account statements. No, it's still not good. Let me try that again. Okay, hope we're not going to see any sort of difficulties here. I might have to log out and log back in. That might be what it is. Yeah, I think I'll have to log out and log back in. So let's X out of this. Yeah, it's like last week we started off very good, and then out of nowhere we had some trouble. The rest of the week the momentum is right now on the slower side, but there's opportunities to be green, right? And so you gotta squeeze the green out of the day, right? You gotta squeeze the green out of the day. Hold on, let me go to dual screen. Well, I'll go to dual screen. Let's slide this on over. All right. Oh well, let's just go to white screen. Hold on, I'll be back. Let me log in really quickly here. Yeah, I gotta be careful with like account information and stuff. So I'll jump to the white screen whenever I need to. But yeah, so Monday we gotta game plan a little differently. Okay, it looks like we're good. Yeah, it looks like we're good to go. So let's see. Monday the 16th. Let's take a look at some of those stocks that we traded. SIGA. That one wasn't bad, right? A bit of a higher float, but over the couple of days did pretty well. SIGA. Since the air is off, SIGA, TXMD. That one wasn't so good. MDXH, Neuro. Let's come all the way down first. Let's see. AGRI. VERU. So AGRI. Let's take a look at that one. AGRI. Yeah, we're good. You know, you come back on the charting. Let's see. AGRI. What was so special about AGRI? You know, we pull it up on the 1 minute as well. This is a stock where we could look at the trend lines, the pivots, right? As we go to see the type of entries that were there. Okay, and I see. So, looking back at the 1 minute, let me go to, let me not forget to go back to single screen here. Yeah, there we go. I usually will forget. Jason, what's going on, man? What's up? What's up? Be sure to hit the thumbs up button as you guys are tuning in. Let's see. Right now we have 14 people watching on. Once again, I didn't do any promotions on this live stream. It's just, you know, me basically going over some stuff. Am I a fan of Tim Sykes? I mean, in terms of like the lifestyle and stuff like that, yes. In terms of the course, I never really, I never like looked into his course. But in terms of lifestyle, and I mean, he seems like a cool guy. He's donating a lot, stuff like that. I mean, it's pretty good, like charity, you know, charity work. Seems like a cool guy. I've watched a few of his videos before. But other than that, it's like, you know, I don't know too much. His Instagram page is what I really would follow. Seems like he cares a lot about animals and that type of stuff. But anyhows, yeah, AGRI, you know. Okay, we started off. I can see why I did well on this one here. You know, initially we got some pre-market levels, and when we talk about pre-market pivots, right? Let's see. When we talk about pre-market pivots, horizontal, we had highs of, let's say, 210, 211, 210. E-Trade's charting, by the way, goes back on to 7 a.m. Thinkorswim, I believe, starts at 4 a.m. So there might be a slight difference if you're watching this on Thinkorswim. But, you know, AGRI, we look at the key pivot level there at 210. As this stock is breaking over the level, that's the type of thing I do want to see when looking for quick scalps to start the day. So, all right, okay, I can see why I you know, might have made some money on this one. And not only that, it breaks the level, it goes to 17, it pulls back, gives a good pullback there, it holds 08. So this is pretty good actually, and this is exactly what I want to see more of this upcoming week, right? And I want to be very aggressive on stocks like this, especially $2 stock. If we can get this push over 10, that's 7 cents there of potential profits. If I'm in at 8, can I be selling at 16? You know, making 7-8 cents on this trade. And then look at this, it dips down 10, where we had potential resistance, we want to look at as now support, and it breaks below by 2 cents. This right here, guys, is exactly what I want to be very, very aggressive towards next week, which is dip trades, right? Dip trades at the previous pivot. I want to make sure I catch every single one of them. This is where I think I turned the corner right for a second time in my trading and can get up to the next level, you know? Can I be long in trades like this? And this is where you can also accumulate a position. When you're in off the lows, you have a choice. Back at high of day, you can sell. Hey, you know, I'm in it. Let's say I'm in at 10. I'm out at 17 for another 7 cents. Or let's say I'm in there with 2,000 shares. I can now add 1,000 shares, right? I can add 50% of the position again, add back. My cost basis probably jump a little bit. All right, I can add at 17 and look for the push to 25. Right here, we got a push to 25, which is pretty good. And then 32, so not bad at all. And, you know, we accumulate a position. We can unwind as the trade goes higher. Right here, we get another beauty. I mean, look at this pullback. Absolutely lovely. Dips down to a low of 228. And then for over 236, rips up to 248. So that was pretty good. Let's see, reports view. I don't want to spoil the monthly recap. I mean, well, you know what? It doesn't matter. I mean, does it really matter? It does not. Let's go to May 1st. And let's go to reports view, calendar, and I'll pull it on over. Calendar. There we go. So in terms of consistency, it's been a pretty good month, right? As I mentioned, we've had a lot of green days, but not the green days that we're looking for. You know, we had 3 of our green days this week, last week, you know, be under $100 or right around there, which is kind of like, you know, not so good. So let me see what you guys are saying. Have I ever traded anything other than momentum? I guess the answer would be no, because ultimately I want to trade stocks that are volatile, and usually volatility will present opportunity, and you know, a volatile stock is a stock with momentum, a stock that can move, you know. So I don't usually trade something that's like stagnant or sideways, and I guess it really is a little subjective, but you know, if we look at a stock like Ford with a really huge float, maybe it goes up 1% on the day, where you know a stock like AGRI can go up 50% within 1 hour, you know, 100% within an hour or less. So I tend to we would trade low float stocks that are volatile, that are pushing momentum. I'm getting a question if I use exponential moving averages. I have one exponential moving average on the daily chart. Is the only one I use. The 200 EMA, 200 EMA on the daily chart. Yeah, guys. So back to it, right? When we come in and we look at the 16th, which was Monday, you know, AGRI, we did pretty well on this one. We had some other stocks as well. VERU, which we'll take a look at. DTST, I don't really remember that one, but we can look at it as well. But AGRI, you know, not bad. And these are the best days, man, when the P&L, the equity curve on the day is just going up, up, up. We're seeing some small dips, but nothing crazy. Up again, up again. And when we look at AGRI, let's see. Details. Okay, yeah, there we go. Details. Detail. Okay, around 9:30, 9:35 is where we had a few of those trades in there. So when we come back to the charting, right, guys, you know, I look at a stock like this, is like, no wonder I was able to do well. It gave a clean break of the pivot, a clean pullback, a clean dip, move higher. Okay, some topping wicks in there, which wasn't so good. And then again, another clean pullback higher up. So this is pretty good stuff, man. From there, got a little choppy though, you know, and this is why a lot of traders will sometimes make their money early and then kind of leave. Gets a little choppy. It's up, down. Big false breakout here. And then curls all the way back up. This is always interesting when this happens. So let's see. Moving on, you know, VERU, right? I want to see. And by the way, if I go back to AGRI, when we actually go back and look at other pivot levels quickly before we move on, right, we can use the 1 minute and 5 minute as well to determine these pivots. Let's zoom in on the 1 minute, bring up our drawing tool, horizontal trend line. So once again we had 212, right? Then we had this low of the first 1 minute candle, high of day, which was at 17. In this case, when the stock broke above the level, let's see, we had a high of 25. What did it do? It dipped down. And man, it's like I can't wait for this. I can't wait for tomorrow, man. I want to trade tomorrow. There's a couple of things I'm looking forward to. When we talk about mental capital, I want to be dialed in for a longer duration, right? So we had, and we can use a different color for this, right? We had the first dip right here, right? And look at this. High of days at 17. We go to a high of 25. What does the stock do? It pulls back to a low of 18. 1 cent below the previous high of day. Then we go up again, and high of day is now 32. So when we come back to the other color, white, all right? Come on, we don't need that. Uh-oh. Okay, there we go. When we come back to the other color, right, and we look at what's going on. Look at this high of day level here now, 32, right? 32, we get a high of 42, and the 1 minute pullback comes down to a low of 30 and 28. Okay, 28, 4 cents, but still 4 cents below the previous high, once again, is not that bad. And from there, we curl right back up. So it's so interesting that we're seeing this pattern working out so well, man. So, you know, tomorrow I'm looking forward to being very, very aggressive on these type of dips if we're seeing them. And then from there, we rip right up into the highs, man. So very impressive stuff. That's how I'm mapping out my high of day levels as I'm going. So let's see. KB, what's going on? KB, man. Good to see you. For those of you tuning in, guys, hit the thumbs up button right now. Just doing a little bit of a review, a little bit of a Q&A as well. All right. AP is asking, can you explain your risk management? How are you taking small wins and protecting yourself for sudden moves? Well, sudden moves down, which can be hard to control the loss. So when scalping, we have this mentality of breakout or bailout, right? And trading this style is more so of an art than a science, right? We don't really look at levels and say, you know, hey, the high of this candle is my entry, the low of the last candle is my stop. That's not how I'm doing it. It's more so, hey, I'm in, and based off of my experience, my intuition, my screen time, seeing stocks that were similar to this one in similar situations, when it's about to give a move, it gives a move without hesitation, without any sort of drop off or anything like that. So when I'm in the trade, my stop is literally if the trade is not going fast enough, right? That's how tight my stop could be in a lot of situations. And so breakout or bailout mindset and mentality, I'm long, and with the hint, right, of the level 2, the time and sales, or just the stock hesitating too much is my exit. And so in doing so, my risk is very limited. Now, like you mentioned, sometimes you can't control it. Sometimes, and you know, the days will even come where, and it's happened, where we're in, the stock is pushing up a couple cents. We're seeing green on the time and sales. It's looking good. And out of nowhere, we probably go from, let's say here, 215 for the new high onto, coming into 934. We go from 215 all the way down to like 205. And it always sucks when that happens, right? But what we do, I take the loss. I take the loss immediately because right away the stock is doing something that it's not supposed to be doing according to my plan. So there is no second guessing of holding or averaging down or any of that. And this strategy over time has proven consistency. And so it's already proven that, hey, even with those unexpected drops, you will still be green over the long run. And which is why we'll see red days, we'll see red trades. But in doing so, I'll see consistency over the long run as long as I respect the rules that I have for myself, right? So that's how I manage risk. That's how I manage risk, by keeping the losses and keeping the stops very tight, very brutal. And it's why I'm pushing myself to size up, right? Because I'm already consistently green. Once I continue to size up, the only thing that'll happen is that I'll be more green, right? I'll just be more green. I'll see bigger green days and bigger red days, but I'm already proving consistency. So the concept works, right? The concept works. So when I manage risk with these small scalp trades, that's what it's all about. Breakout or bailout. No waiting around. Ski, man. What's up, man? Good to see you. How's it been going, man? Let me know if the markets have been treating you well these last couple of weeks. Once again, guys, hit the thumbs up button. If you're a new viewer, consider subscribing to the channel as well, man. Check out all the YouTube videos, all the stuff we have going on. So AGRI, let's move on. I've been on this one for a long time. VERU. Let's come back to the 16 to see how this one did. And we can skip around to different stocks as well, VERU. Oh, yeah. Look at this red to green. It's like, look at this red to green right there, man. Look at this red to green. We can see why, Monday of last week was a good day, right? Pre-market it's already moving a little bit volume. All the volume wasn't that high, okay? But into the open, come on, why are we lagging? Into the open, let's see, we get a high of 1172, but then we dip down. We dipped down, and let's see, coming across, so curling back up, we had highs. We took the VWAP and had highs of 11.17, right? This is why the pivots are important to draw out, guys, and we got to create the new pivots as we're going. Going back into pre-market, we see that 11.15 was a previous high of day level before a pullback. Right now, 11.15, 11.17, similar levels, having issues. Once again, it hits 11.14 right here, back down. And so what do we want to do if the stock is breaking this level, guys? We want to make sure that we're long as soon as it's breaking and conforming, and showing confirmation, right? Confirming that it's holding above 15. So at the moment this rips up right here, I want to be long. And so we can see why VERU was a good one in this area, right? So we look back at 10:01. We can go back to Trader View one more time to see. Right, let's come on out. Reports. Let's clear this out. May 1st, May 1. VERU, that was around 10 o'clock. Let's see. I took trades around 10:00. Well, no, DTST 10:13, 10:13, 10:20, 10:21, 9:40. So I might have missed the earlier trades actually. See that? This is not too good. Now I'm able to see some small gains. It looks like here. Let's see, $200 there, 29. But when we have this first breakout, and you know sometimes it's a little difficult because we have multiple stocks moving at the same time. But at 10:01, I want to be in right here as this big candle's happening, man. But it seems like I managed to see some gains later into the move as it went up a little higher. But VERU, very impressive right there, right? And when we come up and we look at pivot levels again, right? We had the question earlier, where do we put the pivots and why, right? Well, we'll keep it at yellow. We had highs at, let's see, 12.46, 12.53, 12.58, 12.53. So we could say roughly 12.50 is where we're seeing some resistance right here, right? The $0.50. We break through the level finally, right? Which is why now I want to say, so you see how the entries are repeating itself, right? It's the same exact thing again that we just had down here, now in a different situation, right? So I want to be long at 10.10 as we're breaking and confirming that we're holding above 50 on this candle, right? And here, this is what I'm saying. This I usually have this down, right? Scalping these candles is not a problem for me. But I watched back videos from this week that just passed, and I realized in some situations I'm missing this trade right here, right? This trade I'm missing. And it's unacceptable because once this pivot is coming across, I have to be paying attention because let's see, the low of this candle is 44, right? High of day was at 13.41. If I jump in this trade at, let's say, 12.50, right? If I jump in this trade at 12.50 and I tell myself, hey, 15 cent stop, I'm willing to give this thing 15 to 20 cents of room for a potential curl back to the upside. I'm risking 20 cents to high of day. What's that? 50 cents plus another 40 cents. There's 90 cents back to high of day. Risking 20 cents to make 90 cents, not bad, right? And sometimes I'll unwind the trades early as we're going and then look to add back. Okay, cool, no problem. But the concept, right? And there's no way I should be missing these trades. So you guys see this particular pivot, as we made the new high, we curled up a lot. We didn't pull back into this level to retest, right? Or let's say high of day, right? If we come over to the horizontal trend line and we select the white again, right? Come on, there we go. Yeah, we didn't pull back into high of day, right? I might just stick to one color to be honest, because this E-Trade thing is acting a little. Well, we did on the 1 minute time frame right here. We had a quick bounce, so we had highs of 12.11. We pulled back quickly to 11.66. So you guys see the levels, right? You guys see the levels that I'm talking about, man. We want to be able to be scalping the move up and buying this dip. We saw Ross, man. Ross mentioned Ross was doing, let's say, $2,500 a day on average, $2,500 every day, until he realized how good the dip trades were, and he literally went to like 30,000 a day, 25,000 a day. His numbers came back down a little bit since then, but guys, the dips, man, the dips are not to be underestimated. They're not going to work every time, of course, like every other trade, but if we can concentrate, focus, stay locked in, look at this right here. We had highs now of 1380. And there's people who, even if they miss this, let's say they're in on this particular trade right here, right? Let's say they're in on this entry. This is how some people do it and make tens of thousands of dollars. Let's say they're long right here. Let's say 10,000 shares, right? 10K. My handwriting can be any good here. 10K shares right here for the first breakout, right? Let's say they unwind half very early. So we had highs initially at 1124, resistance was at 1115. Let's say someone is long 10,000 shares at 1120. Let's say they sell half at 1140, 1135. They sell half pretty early just to lock in something, but they let the other half of this trade just run to see what's going to happen. They set a bit of a trailing stop. You could be in this thing, and it's all relative. If you're using 10,000 shares, 1,000, 100, 10 shares, doesn't matter, right? You can be in. We let the stock run, and then we get a dip right here into our previous pivot. Perfect area to add back. Increase the average cost a little bit. Add back, right? Let's say you're in. Let's say at this point you're in with 2,000 shares. You add another 1,000 or another 2,000. You increase your average cost, and then we start to move again. And some people will do this over and over and over into all of these key pivot levels. We get high of day, they're scaling out. It dips down to the previous high of day. They add back. And then again, we had highs all the way up there, 1386. And we can put a trend line right here too, right? And this is what I have to focus on coming into this new week. I'm going to check the comments in a second, see what you guys are saying. Coming into this new week, man, I cannot afford to miss a lot of these entries at all. I got to be paying attention. I got to be ready to go. And sometimes we can be a prisoner in our own mind. It's like you'll be thinking to yourself, man, only if last week I would have traded these same entries that we saw, and we got to just stay in the moment, man. We got to stay in the moment. Tomorrow will come, and tomorrow we have to execute, right? Tomorrow will come, and tomorrow we have to execute on these same entries that we're seeing, right? And so we can't think, 3 days from now is where I'm going to look to be aggressive in these areas. A week from now, I'm going to look to size up. We got to do it in the moment, man. We got to do it in the moment, and we can't worry about that negative outcome, We can't worry about, hey, if I take 1,000 shares right here, what if we drop down and I lose 20 cents, 30 cents? So what? The strategy is already proven that if you do this consistently every day, you will be green. And the more size you use over time, the more in the green you will be. So I'm looking forward to this next week, man. I'm looking forward. Let me see what you guys are saying. Marcelo, what's up, man? Marcelo, what's going on? We got Marcelo in the building. Steve, what's going on, man? Jason, you appreciate the channel. You appreciate me. I appreciate you guys too, man. It's a two-way street. I do hope that everybody watching on sees the value in this channel, because I kid you not, there's people paying hundreds of dollars a month, right? Not a year, not annually, a month, because everything is subscription these days, subscription based, for exactly what I'm doing, maybe even less than what I'm doing in some situations. Some people, they don't post their P&Ls, they don't trade live. They're hiding a lot of things. I'm putting it all out there, man, for free. For free. No, I'm not the best trader ever. I still have a long ways to go, but a lot of the fundamentals, man, when we talk about discipline, and those type of things, every day we're beating it into our own heads, in terms of following the rules, doing the right thing, risk management. So I hope everyone who's here appreciates the channel. I could decide tomorrow that I don't want to stream ever again in my life, and then that's the end of the YouTube channel. So it's like this, and of course I don't plan on doing that, but let's enjoy this. Let's utilize what's there. Um, there's a lot of videos going back even from when I was in the simulation. The journey is all there, and you guys will be able to see good trades and bad trades, the ups and the downs, and you can watch it back and take what you need to take from it. Right? Some people will watch it back and they might not need much information because they're at such a high level, but for others they might be able to watch it back and dissect and see some small things that they can implement into their own trading that they like. Maybe something that I'm doing that's a bad habit of mine that they can avoid doing, or that they can alter and have it be something good for. Like, there's so many different things that you can watch and see. I mean, look at what we're looking at right now. Like, I'm telling you guys, this right here, and a lot of it sometimes comes down to the mental state of mind, because last year when I watched back Q4, it's unbelievable the amount of dip trades I was taking. I didn't even realize I was taking that many dip trades. But January, February was so slow. The dip trades, I wasn't seeing any of them. I just stopped trading the dips. And it's also mental, because if I'm able to just pick up where I left off, its size and everything, and just be aggressive on these trades, we would see so much profits, man. I mean, and it will happen. The last time I felt like this was when I was trading stocks above $8 at the old house. This is if we go back to summer of 20, no, 2 years ago, not last year, 2 years ago, summer of 2020, at the old house, I would know all of the entries for stocks above $8, but because of how fast they would move, I was always afraid. I was always worried about taking the trades, but seeing the drop off, seeing the flushes, seeing the rejections. And the one thing I have to keep telling myself is, hey, the strategy is already proven that if you can be consistent with getting in and out of all these same key entries, you will be green. And once you increase your size, you'll be much bigger in the green, right? It's all relative. And so it's funny because, back then what I did to be able to break through the barrier was small size initially. All right, if a stock at $10 wants to drop 50 cents and it's going up 50 cents in a matter of seconds, all right, if I use 100 shares, even if I lose $50, it's not going to do anything to my account. And it's the same process with trading off the lows. Going back to December, as I mentioned, I was taking so many of these trades Q4. The market slows down, and those 2 months, it feels like an eternity. Trades at the lows are coming again, and it's almost as if I'm so rusty at the levels, but now it's like, okay, I'm seeing it so much that it's like starting to feel good. And the Discord is such an amazing thing, man, because I'm in the Discord and I'm seeing the levels the guys are watching. Everyone is talking about where they're looking to go along and why, and it's just giving me more and more confidence to just start getting back at it aggressive with size. Because back in Q4 was basically me testing out the water with smaller size, and now I want to go for it. Like, I want to go for it, man. Even if it means, like right now, I don't want to just go to 10,000 shares or something, but let's say on a stock at like $10, we push it. We take 2,500 shares at the lows on the dip. We take 3,000 shares. We take 3,500. We take 4,000 shares. Yes, if we lose 50 cents, we could be down 2K. But once again, the strategy will let me know that once I do what I need to do and buy where I need to buy, respect my stop, respect my risk, I'll be that much bigger in the green once I push forward, right? So I hope you guys are studying as well. Tim is asking, what stock should I put $7,000 in this week? I don't know if it's a joke or not, but I'll treat it as if it's a serious question. Here at Relentless Trading, man, we do not give any financial advice. Um, what I do, I just show people what I do, right? That's what this all is. This is all about. It's me just showing people what I'm doing, and I'm not a financial advisor or an analyst of any kind. Um, and it's important to put out that disclaimer that trading is extremely risky. I've seen trading is extremely risky. I've heard a lot of such stories. I've seen things close to me, people close to me in the markets who've lost a lot of money, right? And so trading is extremely risky, guys. You always want to make sure that you're going about it in a very smart way. You don't want to force anything. You want to take your time, educate yourself, learn, do your research, consult with a professional if you need to, and take it slow. If you're coming into day trading, you want to start off small, right? You want to even trade in a simulator until you start to get a hang of things and see some consistency. Starting with small size. Trading is not easy. It never was. It never will be, and it's a very risky field of business. So fair disclaimer there, just in case we have any newcomers, right? And like Ross would say, for me as well, my results are not typical. The typical experience for traders in the market is losing money. And I'm not even going to say beginner trade. Anybody could lose money even if they've been trading for years. I still have days where I lose money. So, it goes to show. How's it going? It's going pretty good. Not a bad day. It's Sunday right now. It's finally getting dark outside. It's 8 o'clock. It's now getting dark. Yeah, Peter. I've talked about opening up another channel, another YouTube channel, for podcasts, right? And one thing that I want to do on that channel is talk about some of the sad stories. For those people who are out there who are willing to talk, who are willing to share, so that maybe they can save someone else from making a similar mistake. Um, but being in the position that I'm in, there's a lot of people who will reach out to me, and they'll kind of let me know how they're doing, what's going on, where they're at, and a lot of the times, sometimes we'll talk for a while, and the conversation will get very deep, and there's a dark side to trading, man. There's a dark side to us as humans with our emotions and what to do, what not to do. Like I made a video earlier today. I posted. I don't know if I had explained myself as best as I could. I don't feel like I did, but part of that video, right? I was talking about, trading, and on your shoulders, you have these two constructs, right? You have this angel and you have a demon, and we're in the middle. Our brain is in the middle, and when we have to make these big important decisions every single day in all these important moments, whether it's to cut the trade before it goes down too far, we have to do something crazy like averaging down or something like that. Like, it's always a constant struggle there, and we can't lose sight of what's right, man. We cannot lose sight of what's right. Money Mondays. Money Mondays. How much money do I trade with? I can't say the exact amount because on Thinkorswim, one of the security questions they'll ask you is like your account balance. But what I can say is that my account is above the PDT level. Victor, what's going on? What's up? Good to see you. Oh my goodness, it's hot in this room, man. Traders live for the weekdays. Traders live for the weekdays. See, we don't want to we don't want to fall into that trap. It's we love what we do without a doubt. We love what we do, and we love the weekdays, but you also got to enjoy the weekends and the time off as well. Yeah, SIGA. Yeah, let's look at it. SIGA. 12. Did we drop down to 1240? Let's see. E-Trade charting is sometimes bugging out a little bit. No, it's at 15. Yeah, it's still at 1533. Yeah, but it's a little hard to say. I would say as of right now, I would like to think pre-market we will see something, but into the open I don't know, because we see a few of these stocks sometimes they come strong pre-market and then into the open we just fade out all day long. The daily chart is pretty interesting. You know, when we talk about gap fill, there was room to 15. What was the high of that candle? 11. Okay, that was 11.25. We broke that level already, which is good. Let's see. We had a candle back here. I don't know if this is 2019, 1247. Interesting. That was pretty interesting. But anyhow, this big ridge is what everybody's going to be looking at. This candle, I'm not too sure about it. We're over that level anyways. But anyhow, this big ridge back here, we had highs of 1540, 1529, 1566. After our high at 1550, if we can clear 1550 and hit and hold 16, it looks really good. Maybe, I mean, who knows? This probably could be the stock that brings back momentum like for a while, you know. It has a high float, but we know when traders get aggressive, even high float stocks like this can move like a low float stocks and go crazy. So, you know, I would love to see it go to $20, 25, 30, 35, 40. That'll be really nice to see. And I would look forward to those dip trades. You guys already know the scalp trades I'll be looking forward to too, but RDBX, yeah, that's another good one to look at. That one has just been surprisingly strong. Despite the daily chart not being in the best of situations, it's like, I don't know, it's so interesting. Usually we don't have a stock be this strong in, you know, a daily chart like this, but this one has been, you know, on the green days, it's been giving opportunities, man. It's been giving opportunities. We'll see if it's able to break the 200 EMA at 612 again and start to curl all the way back up. If that happens, you know, maybe we see $11 again in the next week and a half. That's Redbox. Let's see what else we had from last week. AGRI, DTST. That one doesn't really ring a bell. PPSI, I believe PPSI. Let's see, take a quick look. PPSI. Choppy. I mean, look, this is just not a good charting. There's only one entry that I really see, and it's the ABCD. It doesn't respect the double bottom very well right here because we made new lows. Let's see. Initially, lows were at 79, 75. We made lows of 70. Oh, hold on. What am I looking at? 79. Okay, that wasn't that much of a big difference. 81, 79, 71. Okay, a 10-cent drop off. Well, not too bad. But I could see myself, if I'm in looking for a double bottom here, could have potentially gotten stopped out of the trade. But anyhow, it's the pivot. The pivot is at 95 right here. And so as we retake the pivot coming over this level, that's where I do see an entry on this one, right? The pivot right there, yellow line at 395 coming across. We went from 95 up to 405 up to 416. So pretty good, not bad. 20 cents in there, right? Good 20 cents of potential profits. But it comes up to pre-market levels and doesn't really do much. It kind of rejects. But that was PPSI. So when we look at potential dip trades, it's like it comes back down. It's just not a strong charting. Stocks like this is good for that one and done. And I need to also keep that in mind. Like some stocks are just good for a few trades and then you never want to touch them again for the rest of the day. Once again, if you're watching on YouTube, guys, be sure to hit the thumbs up button. I do appreciate it. If you're a new viewer, consider subscribing to the channel. I'll be live tomorrow morning at 9:15 a.m. going over my watch list, and I'll be getting ready for the open. I'll trade for about 2 hours, and we'll see how it goes. You guys will see in some of the stocks I'm getting in with some bigger share size, other trades smaller share size, like right here 500 shares Veru, VERU, $14 stock, taking it a little easier on this one. Although in some trades I believe I was taking about 1,000 shares in some trades. PPSI, $4 stock, 2,000 shares. AGRI, 3,000 shares. So depending on the stock, and this week we're looking to push the share size once again, man. We just want to be aggressive, stay aggressive. AGRI, 4,000 shares at one point. Some trades I'll buy twice. It's a little bit more rare because it throws off the strategy a little bit. Like this one, for example. This trade right here, I attempted to buy twice. It's just the stock just stalled out at the key level. 15 was a key area initially, right? I'm long, looking for the quick push. Green comes, but nothing happens, so I'm right back out flat. It's just a 6,000 share position there, but it's all about being aggressive right now. SIGA, NIDP, INDP on the 19th. Let's take a look at that one. Once again, if you guys have questions, feel free. What's my strategy? I trade low float momentum stocks, right? I look for particular patterns, right? Patterns such as bull flags, ABCDs, the 1 minute candles to make a new high, and dip trades into previous high of day levels, which are support levels for me. I really like those levels. A lot of my trading is based off of intuition and experience. So a lot of what I'm doing now, I'm doing because I've seen stocks do these things time and time again. And no matter how people will say, the market is random, to a degree it is, but you can connect the dots within all the variables that you'll see. And that's what I'm doing over time. And if you trade long enough and you're one of those people who are actively improving and you can actively get better, in a lot of ways trading is not a lot different from many things that we'll do in our lives, whether it's gaming, cooking, maybe a sport, writing. I mean, it could be anything. Writing, it could be music. There's people out there that they can start something new tomorrow, and within 1 year they can make a tremendous amount of progress. And if you're of that mindset, right, you can see trading in a similar light with enough time and experience, hard work, enough blood, sweat, and tears, and doing it the right way. You will start to pick up on certain things that's happening over and over and over and over again, So that's how I trade, essentially. I do use level 2. I do use time and sales, and my trades are very fast trades for the most part. When I'm doing dip trades off the lows, they'll last a little longer. My scalp trades are anywhere between, let's say, 1 second and 20 seconds, but usually between 1 and 10 seconds on average. And the trades at the lows are more so a few minutes at a time. Although I will approach some trades at the lows as scalp trades, right? If I'm just looking for a quick couple of cents. But ideally, I'd prefer to be holding the dip trades a little longer. Market patterns equals human psychology. Humans are predictable, and right, and that's correct. And so what you want to be able to do is to be able to see a few steps ahead, based off of the patterns and the psychology of people. Okay, sometimes some levels might be too obvious, and so you want to look past those levels and see, and let's say be able to read in between the lines. That's always pretty big in getting yourself the best entries. Yes, commissions at Thinkorswim are free. Giovanni is asking about Thinkorswim commissions. Yeah, commissions are free. So, and that's the good thing, you know, when we look at the week. Let's see, does it show how many trades I took? 487 total trades on the week, which, you know, for some people it's a lot. For others, it's nothing. There's some people that I know that take 1,000 trades in a day, right, on Thinkorswim, with more size than I do. And there's some people who will use, you know, maybe they'll probably do 5 trades a day. It all comes down to style and strategy. There's no one way. There's people who take 5 trades a day who are making hundreds of dollars. There's people who take thousands of trades a day, hundreds of trades a day, who are making hundreds of dollars. It just doesn't matter. As long as it works for you, it works for you. That's all, you know. Trading is not a one size fit all, right? So keep that in mind. It's like I'll have comments, and the comments are coming from a good place. Like, I think it's coming from love and just people trying to give suggestions. But when you have someone review your trades, it's always such a touchy kind of thing. It's sometimes even hard to give advice because someone might be working on a strategy, and it's not that their strategy is bad. Maybe they might not be as disciplined as they need to be, right? Or maybe they need to tweak one or two things, maybe a few things to get it, you know, in a very efficient place. And it's like, you know, somebody might be taking 30 trades a day, and you go tell them, oh, no, just take 2 trades a day, and you'll see like that. You can't really give that type of advice, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like when people ask me, you know, it's always like a lot of what I say is kind of like in an outline of things that, you know, comes back to the fundamentals, right? Because, you know, unless I see someone's full on trader viewed or full on individual day to day trading, it's a lot of the times hard to say what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. Like, I'd have to stand and watch somebody trade for a few days to see exactly what it is that I could, you know, say, hey, change this, change that. But most of the times it's disciplinary things that we need to work on. Shorting, I'll be a short seller one of these days. Right now my mind is like, I feel like one thing at a time is best for me, and I would have to put another 25,000 into like Centerpoint or one of those other platforms, because I'm a part of the Hard to Borrow program at Thinkorswim. And Thinkorswim, like, if we pull up stocks like you know, Facebook. Well, it's not showing here. Let's see, Macy's. Maybe the market has to be open. Stocks like this are easy to borrow. It's not really showing me on the top right here. Yeah, but stocks like this are easy to borrow, but penny stocks, cheaper stocks, low float stocks, high volume stocks that are moving very fast, they tend to restrict. And because a lot of traders are also looking at those stocks for shares to borrow, you know, it becomes a problem to be able to find the amount of shares that you need to, you know, to full your order. And so that's a problem. But anyhow, if I get to a platform like Centerpoint, where most of the times there's shares available on these same stocks, I can trade the backside of the move on the way down. But, you know, one thing at a time, and that's why we look at trading in the long run. It's like, in another 5 or 10 years, you know, I look forward to being able to be very efficient at shorting. And, you know, once that's been mastered, you know, I want to also look into options, like, and I really would love to trade this type of stuff right here. You see this? I had this stock on watch for a while, the same Macy's. Initially, I was looking at potential trades to go long at the 200 EMA for a break over this pivot. And it's the same setups, just transferred over to a larger time frame. right? So you see these trend lines that I have in here for Macy's, right? These two pivot levels. Um, One was at 28. Marcelo, if you're watching on, I have some homework to do. Uh, I have this video saved actually, which is like a what's it called? It's basically how to use Thinkorswim, right? All the tips and tricks, and everything else that I'll need to know. So you guys will be seeing some stuff tomorrow on that. But anyhow, we're in this channel. I wanted to buy the low of the channel, the dip, at support, which is the 200 EMA, and look to sell it above the high of the channel as we're breaking out. As we're going to see, it rejected the highs, came back down, held support a couple times, but just wasn't able to break out. And so when we're breaking below the 200 EMA and we're confirming that breakdown, you know, this is where I want to be able to trade options and, you know, take a couple of contracts, man, and see what happens. Can Macy's drop down to $15 and I make a good $4 a share, you know? So expanding the trading and also becoming an investor, right? Because the day will come where we're making over $1,000 a day, and then we're gonna up it again. We're probably gonna be making $5,000 a day, and then, and, you know, as far as we're willing to go, and we're gonna have a lot of cash. We're gonna need to put that cash in a lot of into the overall market, right? And, you know, we're gonna have to educate ourselves all over again. So this process of education doesn't stop. You just gotta keep learning. TD Ameritrade is bad for scalps. I mean, it depends on what on. I would say there's pros and cons to it. Maybe I make a video on that this week. Although it's hard for me to talk about the other side of it because I never used Lightspeed. Steve, you're gonna have dinner. Take it easy, man. What's on the menu? What's on the menu before you head out? Let us know. But we'll see you tomorrow morning, man, for another beautiful day. Hopefully an even better day than what we had on Friday. Yeah, I do have DAS. I do have the DAS platform connected to Thinkorswim. But to be honest, the DAS platform, when you buy, like, the hotkeys are better, without a doubt. The hotkeys are better. But for how I'm scalping right now with the market orders, and guys, I know people will have their differences, but I believe the market orders on Thinkorswim are great. Great fills every time. Well, not every time. Most of the times. There's some days where they kind of, you know, BS you, but rice and fish with curry, man. Sounds pretty good. Sounds pretty good. Sri Lankan food. Steve, man, save us a plate, man. But have a good one. Take it easy, man. We'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early. Yeah, so the DAS platform. The hotkeys are better. Right, kind of losing my train of thought there. The hotkeys are better. Oh yeah, Thinkorswim, with the way how I trade momentum, the market orders work very well. Where the DAS platform, where I could see myself using the DAS platform to be a little bit more efficient, is if I want to scale out of a position with specific hotkeys, which right now I haven't been doing. Right, I've been scalping in and out, in and out, in and out. I started off this year with 2 flat months, and it was because I was holding stocks longer. And well, there's 2 things I could have done. I was, on average, my scalps were 20 seconds long. Right now, on average, my scalps are 5 seconds long. I needed to either reduce my hold time in the trades or extend my hold time in the trades. And because if in the past I used to have a shorter hold time, I went back to that, right? If we go back to, you know, the old house, right, in 2020, you guys will see in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. But as time progressed, I'm in and I'm holding longer for the move. So I went back to that because I was already familiar with it, right? But now, as the trades off the lows are coming again, maybe I see myself using the DAS platform a little bit more, right? Because especially if I want to buy on the bids, I can see myself using it a lot more. But you know, we do want to be careful of any connection issues. Besides that, I can see myself using it a lot more for dip trades. But scalps, there's no need for me to buy on the ask with how the market orders are working at Thinkorswim, right? And on the DAS platform, buying market will fill you on the ask, and selling market will fill you on the bids, which will fill you against the spreads every time. It's worth mentioning that. Some of these companies have their systems set up. I don't know if they are taking the difference every time, because if I buy 500 shares on the DAS platform and there's a 5-cent spread, is the company taking the difference from the market order, the market price to the ask price? Let's say there's a 2-cent difference. I mean, I don't know. They probably, I mean, I'm speculating, right? I've got to make sure that I say that I'm speculating. But they probably could be. We don't know. But anyhow, Thinkorswim, I feel like the market orders are pretty good for what I'm doing with the scalps. And I use the DAS platform in pre-market because I do buy on the ask. I buy on the ask, I sell on the ask, I also buy on the bids for scalp trades in pre-market because there are no market orders allowed. Right? The level 2 is also good for the halt levels. Try to buy on the ask with an offset. Try to sell on the ask as well. And you bail on the bid with a 5-cent offset if you have to. I mean, if you're using a limit order, you shouldn't really be getting bad fills. You might be getting partial fills, but that's where the offset can help you get. And what I would love is a market order with an offset. But I've heard Ross mention midpoint orders before. Let's see. Midpoint orders. He kind of mentioned that it was like complicated, but maybe I look up midpoint orders to see. But why even have the name midpoint when you already have market? So like, what's the difference? I have to do some. I don't want to talk about it because I don't have any knowledge on it. But I do my research here and see. But if I could have a market order with an offset, oh boy, now that would be something. I'd be beating out everyone who's buying on the ask all the time, because majority of the time there's some sort of in between. Like there's people with hidden orders all in between the spreads a lot of the times. And if we look at some of my orders, by the way, you'll see that they're not filled at whole dollars all the time. Like look at this right here, okay? Like these orders up here are filled like within the 100, right? And it goes to show you that there's somebody trying to sell shares there or buy shares within the cents, right? And this is where the market orders could be helpful. When the spreads aren't bad, and yeah, man, you'll see a lot of them. Like look at this one, 549.54, 564.01, 598. Instead of getting filled at 597, what's that? No, 559. Instead of getting filled at 560, I'm filled at 559.87. So there's a bit of a difference in there. It's something small, right? But yeah, so we had a good amount of people coming in today, man. I do appreciate everyone tuning in. Right now we have more likes than we do viewers. LA, so peg to midpoint orders are limit orders where the price of the limit gets calculated according to the spread. Okay. And your specific setting. Okay. So better for expensive stocks like GameStop. You see, Yeah, I'll look into it just to see. Just have some information on it. Can I talk about how I scalped when I first began to trade on a real account? Guys, in the simulation, right? So, well, okay, even before that. So before I went to the simulation, I traded on E-Trade Pro below the PDT with an account of 14,000. Right, this is in 2019. All right, 2018, 2019. I traded on E-Trade Pro and I lost 4,000 over 1 year. Right, and this is with me taking 3 trades every 5 days, every 5 business days, and the emotions of losing, right? The emotions went with me into the simulation. When I stopped trading on E-Trade Pro, it was because there was a holiday. I came back in. I thought my day trade was refreshed. It was not. I took a trade. Before you know it, I'm seeing 90 days before I can trade again. 90 business days, I think. So the weekends don't count. And it's like, man, I have to wait 90 days before I can trade. You know what I did? I took 6 months off, which, looking back on it, was a pretty poor thing to do. I'm not going to say foolish, but I shouldn't have done that. Took 6 months off, came back, and within 1 week of me coming back, I hit the PDT again. I think I just messed up the count and took one trade too many. So I'm like, man, I can't go another 6 months without trading. Went into the sim, and first when I got in there, the first week and a half, I wasn't treating it serious, and I had to ask myself, what the hell am I doing? At this point, I might as well, like, you gotta be very, very. I mean, I know everyone is different, but for me, the way how I was, it's like I didn't really have any other options, right? And it's like, if I can't do this, I literally will not make it as a trader. I cannot. Why am I fooling myself? I was in the sim. I went from treating real money very serious to my first week and a half in the sim. I started buying into halts, like stuff I would not have done had I been trading live, because it was too much risk. Bought into the first halt, saw some green. It felt good. Bought into the next halt. Bought into the next halt until I got a losing trade, a big losing trade, and had a wake up call. I had to meditate mentally to kind of get myself where I needed to be, because it's like, had I continued on that road, I would have been a failing trader forever. It's like, that was my only option. My back was against the wall, and it's like, yo, we gotta treat this thing serious. And what happened was, coming into week 2, week 3, all of the trades that I would take with real money, I would take in the sim, and I started to get the emotions all over again, because I started to realize there was no difference. You gotta, like, it's your head, man. I'm telling you guys, man, it's your head, because I'm telling you, man, some people will have the arguments and they'll fight tooth and nail, but if those people are in that situation where that's their only situation, their only option, they're not gonna make it. That's just me being very honest with how I feel. They're probably not gonna make it, because at that point you're in a loop, you're in a limbo. Trading is in the sim is not real for you, so you have no emotions. You come live, you don't know how to handle your emotions, and it's the same process over and over, and you're just losing money, right? So when I got my mind to that level of just, hey, trade exactly where you would have been trading regardless, you start to kind of merge. And my transition, all of this long stories to say, my transition into trading with real money again was very seamless. It's like, in fact, there's people to this day that thinks I'm still in the sim, because back then Thinkorswim sim was real time, and the only difference was that the top of the screen was like yellow. Was it yellow or maybe orange? The top bar right here. My share size was the same share size. The way how I would execute trades is the same. This layout right here with these 4 chartings is the same layout that I had in the sim. And it's like you, our mind. The more and more I kind of surround myself with traders who are profitable and better than I am, it's so much about the mind. I mean, if your mind is limiting you, you're gonna have a hard time. I mean, you guys will see I'm having a hard time right now. You ask yourself, why is RT profitable already and not buying all these, every single one of these dips that he sees on SIGA? Yeah, real time is a little difficult, but still, commissions are free. I can give the stock a stab. You know, it's your mind. It's my mind. So I have to overcome this obstacle, right? I'll keep it real with you guys, man. Always, I gotta keep it real. So if you're watching on YouTube and you're now tuning in, hit that thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to the channel. I'll be live tomorrow around 9:15 a.m. Eastern time. I'll be trading for about 2 hours, and then from there, I'll head on over into the Discord. It's really a mindset, man. And we heard Ross say it before. Once you're green with one share, 10 shares, the difference between being green $1 a day and $10 a day is share size. And from 10 to 100 is share size. From 100 to 1,000 is share size. From 1,000 to 10,000 is share size. I mean, and my mind does limit me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm immune to this, because tomorrow, like, we look through the log right here, right? Tomorrow, let's say I just my mind was just elevated overnight. Tomorrow, instead of taking 1,000 shares, 2,000, 3,000 shares, I could triple all of these. But like, my account has the buying power. I could triple, quadruple all of these share sizes on every single one of the trades, And once the stocks are high volume, low float, tight spreads, and my fills will be very good, I'm just gonna see more green. It literally is that simple. It is that simple, right? When we talk about mindset and mentality, because there's people who do it right now, for one reason or another. We'll have some hurdle or obstacle in our head that's blocking us from getting us to where we need to be. It could be many different things, and we're humans. We're all unique. For each of us, it could be something different that's causing the mental blockage. But the people who are doing it to a high level, they're stone cold in their mindset, and that's why they're able to do it. Sir Clive, every Sunday, man. Every Sunday. I missed Mother's Day. Mother's Day, I think it was last Sunday I missed. But we want to do this every Sunday, man. Even if we're just coming to hang out, talk a little bit, answer a few questions, study up a little bit. Joseph, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, Circle Life, it's true in some ways, right? But to be honest, on a stock, like on every single one of these stocks here that's on this list, I could have used more size on, like, without reaching the limits of Thinkorswim. And don't, like, Thinkorswim is not the platform that we think it is, man. Like, there's people who are using Thinkorswim and taking some crazy share size. Not on every stock. You can't do it. There'll be days where we have stocks that are up at like $8, $9, $10, $15 plus, that's moving up and down 60 cents within like 2-3 seconds. Do I want to take 20,000 shares on Thinkorswim on a stock like that? No. But on something like let's see here, $3 stock Neuro, $4 stock Neuro, INDP, stocks with tight spreads, with high volume. We've seen a few of them last week, where the spreads are just very tight and it's very liquid. Maybe the float's slightly higher, but volume is in there, so it's moving. And you can take 10,000 shares and get filled without any serious slippage or anything like that, But yeah, so I have a very good idea as to what it is. I mean, I've made videos on it many a times. But you know, it's like for me, I do not like the idea of working for anybody else, and that's why I've made the decision I've made to just push for the YouTube channel. And the YouTube channel has seen tremendous growth in the last 6 months. You know, we've done a 300%. We've done 300% growth on the channel since December, and YouTube does pay me something. You know, nothing crazy, but you know, it's why I made that video going back to the 9 to 5 grind. It's why I didn't do it, but every day it's in my head, and you know, 6 months. These last 6 months have been great. I don't regret anything. But we'll see if we put a new game plan into action soon. You know, I've been thinking about it over the weekend. Yeah, man, I'm gonna end it here. It's 9:22 a.m. p.m. Excuse me, p.m. We'll be back tomorrow morning, bright and early. We'll probably have Marcelo on for Tuesday, probably Tuesday, and then the rest of the week on during pre-market. Right? We probably can do it during pre-market and the power hour. I mean, hey, I don't mind. Although this week I'll have to be careful with my schedule because if I trade for too long and I kind of get a little exhausted, it's hard for me to do the extra video I've been doing on the day when we do talk about the taxes video and a few of the other ones that will be coming this week. So I got to be careful with that with my schedule. So take it easy, guys. Once again, the trader view metrics. The month hasn't been the best month for me, but you know, green is good. We have 3 red days. The problem with the month is that our green days have been very small. Like, look at this. Okay, 126, a little on the lower side, but 71, 58, 61, 38, 70, 168. Not so good, especially when we go back to last month, right? Last month we had overall much bigger green days. Like you'll see 389, 411, 522, 612. Now we've had smaller green days too, right? But once again, bigger green days are mixed in all over the place. 1500, 800, 350, 700, 400. Versus this month, you know, this month has been such an interesting month, man. But you know, we'll keep grinding, we'll keep pushing, and we'll see how far we get. The year has been very slow for me because of those first 2 months, January and February. Once again, in January and February, just look at the 360 from January. Let's actually go to compare. What is it? Win loss expectation. Compare. There we go. Whenever this computer lags, it always gets me. There we go. Why? Okay, let's look at the first 2 months, right? Compared to the last 2 months, 2022, January 1 to, let's say, why is this popping up in the way of the charting, man? Come on. Okay, there we go. February, when things picked up for me, it was February 22nd, right? So look at the first, essentially the first 2 months, we could say, right? All right, so we'll go to February 22nd to today's date, right? Just look at the difference. Look at the difference in the trading. Look at the volume. 7,800 shares per day versus 61,000 shares per day. The beginning of this year was just so interesting, man. It sucks when what you've been doing and what's been working stops working and you have to figure out what it is. This is kind of dangerous, which is why we have to just continue adapting and evolving, right? Before I shut it down, it's like, you know, if I can master the lows, and during this time I wasn't really seeing trades at the lows, right? But it's why I have to master the lows and then move on, as my younger brothers are getting yelled at, I have to move on to shorting stocks, and then from shorting stocks on to options, so that I'm so versed in the next 5-10 years that when three of these strategies are not working, the other two are working. When four of them are not working, one is working. When two is not working, three is working, right? And that way I'm very versed. I even have money now in the overall market, and then from there, it's from there, it's like we're unstoppable, right? It's like right now we're still in this baby phase. Okay, scalping, I can say we have some level of mastery. Trades at the lows, we're almost there. And then it's on to shorting. I feel like once we get the trades off the lows, like, complete, I really think we'll see, like, maybe $700 to $1,500 days regularly. It'll be more frequent. Almost every day we'll see it. And then we can just continue upping size and adding on the other strategies. So the year was just so slow, man. But as my brothers are getting yelled at here, this is a good time to shut it down. So I'll catch you guys, man, tomorrow morning. Be ready. Let's come in. Let's stay sharp. Lots of red days I had, man. Lots of red days. We go back to Q4 of last year. October 1st to to December 31st. Q4, was very solid, man. Very solid. We had red days, but we were killing these green days. 504, 430, 4, 3, 220, 4, 4. So you see how often the bigger green days are coming. 9, 7, 3. You go to October 6. Okay, a couple of subpar week, 2 subpar weeks. Not good. But then, okay, we start to pick it up. I mean, look at the ending right here. It's pretty good. 292, 14, 1K, 1K. This should have been a good day too. We messed up. Q4 we had done pretty well, man. But anyhow, it's not. I'm kind of taking too long to shut it down. Take it easy, guys. Stay safe. Stay green. Have a good night's rest. Make sure to wake up early. Do not wake up late. If you're waking up late as a day trader, I don't know what to say. But make sure that you're early on time. You're punctual. We have to be professional. We have to treat this job professional. We don't have a boss. We are our own boss. So hold yourself accountable. Set an alarm. Wake up early on time. Eat a good breakfast. And if you're one of those type of people who, maybe you love to wear a suit, put on a suit and trade, man. For me, I like to wear shorts and t-shirts. So I'll have on some shorts, have on a t-shirt. I'll be sitting here, that's what I'm most comfortable in. And I'll be ready to go. And I want to be very aggressive towards the scalps early. I want to ease it down, wait patiently, trade the dip trades as they're coming. And I want to remember that I want to trade for a longer duration, right? I don't want to just trade for the first hour anymore. I want to push it the first 2, 3 hours, 4 hours, even coming back at different points in the day and still trading. And so, there's going to have to be some more rules, right? We're going to have to kind of make some adjustments for how the day should look at any given moment, right? Because we don't want things to be chaotic. So this week is going to be interesting, right? I'm going to really have to plan properly, see how tomorrow goes. And I want to have a skeleton, an outline of what a day should look like, an average day should look like. We don't need to be, to the numbers, none of that, but just, hey, a routine for the day, But take it easy, guys. This is Relentless Trader. So take it, Circle Live. Gus, take it easy. Theodore, everyone else, Joseph, have a good one, guys. Cox, take it easy. Matt, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, bright and early, 9:15 Eastern time, and hopefully for a great day in the markets. It's been Relentless Trader, and I am signing out.